There is a city in the north of England that knows exactly what it raised. Stockport, Greater Manchester. A place not built for glamour, built for graft. Built for people who wake early and work quietly and do not need applause to keep going. On the 19th of April 2005, a boy was born here, to Ghanaian parents, in a suburb called Cheadle Hulme. His name was Kobbie Mainoo. And before he could even dream in full sentences, football had already found him. He started at Cheadle and Gatley Junior Football Club. A boy among boys running on grass that asked nothing of him. Then Failsworth Dynamos, where he played as a forward, a boy who wanted to score, who wanted to be closest to the goal. The scouts came when he was 6 years old, still learning the world. And already, someone at Manchester United had seen something. He signed up at 7. He joined the academy at 9. And from that moment, Old Trafford was not a place Kobbie Mainoo visited. It was a place he was being prepared for. While other boys his age were collecting sticker albums of Premier League players, Kobbie Mainoo was training beside the next generation of them. Learning, watching, absorbing, growing up inside the walls of a club that had already produced Scholes, Giggs, Beckham. The class of '92. The greatest homegrown dynasty the English game had ever seen. The weight of that history did not crush him. It shaped him. May 2022. Mainoo signed his first professional contract. He was 17. That same year he lifted the FA Youth Cup with United under-18s. His first trophy. The first proof. October 2022. Named on the senior bench for the first time in a Premier League match against Newcastle United. Still 17. Not yet playing. But present. Watching from the inside. January the 10th, 2023. EFL Cup. Charlton Athletic. Old Trafford. 3-0. Kobbie Mainoo made his senior debut, stepping onto the same turf where Cantona had snarled and Rooney had thundered and Ronaldo had danced. He was 18 years old. He looked like he had always been there. November the 26th, 2023. Everton away. 3-0. Mainoo's first Premier League start. Man of the match. Not a cameo. Not a careful introduction. A statement. At 18, in a season where Manchester United were unraveling at the edges, here was a boy from Stockport playing like a man who had no fear of the occasion. Then the first Premier League goal, February the 1st, 2024. Wolverhampton Wanderers away. United were losing 3-2. 97th minute. Stoppage time. The game bleeding out. Mainoo received the ball. One touch. A shift of the hips. A curled finish into the bottom corner. United won 4-3. Premier League Goal of the Month for February 2024. Awarded to a teenager who delivered it when the match had nothing left to give. Rio Ferdinand, who played alongside Scholes and Keane, who knew midfielders the way a painter knows color. Ferdinand compared Mainoo's style to Clarence Seedorf. One of the most decorated midfielders in the history of the game. Champion of Europe with 3 different clubs. The comparison was not casual. It was considered. FA Cup Final. May 2024. Wembley Stadium. Manchester United vs Manchester City. 1-0 down. The blue half of Manchester beginning to celebrate. Then Mainoo. A run. A touch of elegance that had no business being in a cup final and yet felt perfectly at home. A finish that curled into the net like it had been practiced 1,000 times on a training pitch at Carrington. 1-1. United went on to win 2-1. FA Cup winners. Old Trafford had watched this boy grow. Now Wembley had watched him arrive. He was 19 years old. March 2024. Gareth Southgate called him up to the senior England squad. He had not yet turned 19. By the summer he was in Germany. Euro 2024. One of the youngest players in the squad. And in a tournament where England shuffled nervously through the group stages, Mainoo was one of the few who moved with purpose and without panic. He played. He delivered. England reached the final. They lost to Spain. But Kobbie Mainoo had played in a European Championship final at 19 years old. A boy from Cheadle Hulme. Representing England. On the biggest stage the continent offers. The number 37 on his back. The composure of a veteran in his chest. But football is not only applause. It is also silence. And 2024-25 brought silence in abundance. Injury. October 2024. A muscle problem picked up away at Aston Villa. Weeks lost. Games missed. The momentum interrupted. Then his return, only to find a manager, Ruben Amorim, who could not find a system that contained him properly. The 3 at the back stifled what Mainoo did best. His minutes were managed. His influence rationed. The boy who had scored at Wembley was now watching from the bench at Old Trafford. Rumours arrived, as they always do when clubs struggle and agents whisper. Would he leave? Would Manchester United, in their chaos, lose the one jewel they had grown themselves, the one player who genuinely belonged to the badge? He stayed. Quietly. Without theatre. Without a single public word of discontent. He stayed. January 2026. Michael Carrick arrived. A United man to his marrow. A man who understood what midfield at Old Trafford was supposed to feel like. His first decision: put Mainoo back in the middle. Give him the ball. Give him the space. Trust him. Mainoo has started every single game under Carrick. Every one. Not rotated. Not managed. Started. January the 17th, 2026. Manchester City at Old Trafford. To know. Mainoo, 90 minutes, 7.5 rating. The full duration of a derby win against the club that had dominated the city for over a decade. January the 25th. Arsenal away. 3-2. An assist. A performance of authority at the Emirates. February the 7th. Tottenham at home. To know. 89 minutes. Another assist. An 8.6 FOT mob rating, the highest of his season. Thomas Tuchel, the England manager, has been watching. According to Manchester United's own communications, Tuchel confirmed he is considering England recalls for 3 United players. Mainoo's name is loudest among them. From the bench. To the centre. To the England conversation. In the space of weeks. That is what Kobbie Mainoo does when given the ground to run on. He is not a spectacle. That is the first thing to understand. He does not need the crowd to gasp. He does not arrive on the pitch to entertain. He arrives to control. To think 2 seconds before everyone else. To receive the ball in tight spaces where other midfielders panic and turn. And find. And move. Composure is his language. Intelligence is his currency. He drives forward with the ball like he is late to somewhere important. He dribbles through tight spaces not with trickery but with geometry, reading the angle before it opens, arriving at the destination before the defense has even processed the journey. His contract runs until June 2027, with a club option for 1 further year. He is valued at €58 million. At 20 years old. Born in the city the club calls home. Produced entirely within the club's own system. He is not a purchase. He is not a project. He is a proof. A proof that the Manchester United Academy still works. That the ground still grows greatness. That the academy that gave the world Scholes and Beckham and Giggs has not forgotten how. Kobbie Mainoo is 20 years old. FA Cup winner. Euro 2024 finalist. Premier League goal of the month. Wembley scorer in a cup final against the rival from across the city. Starting every game under a new manager rebuilding a broken club. On the edge of an England recall. And he has not yet reached his peak. That is what makes him terrifying to the rest of the Premier League. He is already this good. Already this calm. Already this decisive in the moments that matter most. And he is just beginning. In Cheadle Hulme, a 6-year-old boy was spotted on a grass pitch and told he had something special. He did not argue. He did not boast. He went away and worked for 14 years inside the walls of the greatest academy English football has ever produced. And now Old Trafford does not just know his name. Old Trafford sings it. The boy from Stockport. The number 37. The academy product who stayed when leaving was easy. Kobbie Mainoo. This is only the first chapter.